And so what we're going to end up having, so if the HR is not going to take over and manage things like operational intelligence, right? And we don't believe that either. You're going to have a system of systems. You're going to have a whole bunch of data interacting with other data, right? To gain value. And I think one of the things we do at InSites is we talk about, having sensory data mixing with contextual data to provide very interesting operational outcomes. How do you trust data then? I mean, when you've got systems of systems, you've got data that comes in, you've got data coming in from different sources, and not all data is created equal. How do you manage that in a systems of systems model?
Yeah, so what you basically end up having to do is to start looking at your data sources and your data sink, and that sounds exactly like what it is. What is giving you data and where is data going? So if you think about the broad categories, the most often used data in healthcare today, which is very, very scary, is considered observational data. A human being sees something, they type it in. A human being sees something, they write it down and it gets scanned in, et cetera. But really, the only data then one can trust is ones that are coming out from tested systems, such as whether it's medical devices, whether they are operational systems like RTLS, whether they are lab systems, so things that are coming out of biochemistry, genomics, proteomics, et cetera. So if you think about where we are today, the vast majority of data is observational. But the more you rely on observational data, the less valuable that data happens to be, and the more work you have to do to increase trust in that system. So I often say that the only valuable data is data that is used. And data is only used when it's trusted. And if you can't trust the data, which is what will happen, for example, what is the most common remark that a physician or care provider will make when they learn that a patient entered some data? They immediately say, well, we can't trust that. Who knows what they would have typed in, et cetera. Yet at the same time, they expect that their handwritten notes, et cetera, are trusted. But the observations that they make from a patient are the ones that they are writing down. So if you think about that observational data and you say, where am I going to get really trusted data? It has to come out from systems, from machine-to-machine type of environments, from the plethora of sensors that we already have today and we're going to have even more in the future. And you guys have probably seen the GE commercial about the machines taking over. That's the reality. So it's already happening in hospitals today. 5 years from now, it'll be even more so. And what you guys have to recognize is, do you have the software systems in place to be able to absorb that data? Definitely your EHR vendor does not. They have no clue what to do with all that data. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like saying, well, does the materials manager have the ability to do that? No, it's not necessarily the rationale for them to do it. You need to make sure that you're buying systems, working with vendors, dealing with approaches that understand that sensor data is the future, not observational data. So if you're making a selection of a vendor, you're buying a product, et cetera, you look and peer into the data models and you say, what kind of data is this storing? What are the formats that they're going to go in? How are they going to be managed and maintained in the future? And if they don't focus on sensor-style data, then it's just another throwaway system that you're going to have to replace a little while later.